the women are just more like
Stressful?
I thought it was more tea over there. Like I thought it was just like okay, like because if I'm calling you crying, you automatically gonna say, you know what's going on. Like let me take a minute, girl. Come sit down. Like girl, like you know what I'm saying? Like I was
Welcome back to the space we create where we gather to show vulnerability in the spaces we occupy. I am your host, Aaila. I have a very smiling. I have a very special guest, India, aka Indy. I had to say that because you told me just call you whatever, but India is what I'm gonna call her. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. So
I'm glad you are. And I told her, I did like when we did the review call, because I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about when we did the call. After the call, you had mentioned something like, oh my gosh, we were talking about like ATL and how people are ATL. So she's from up north like me. So if y'all notice, like a lot of my previous guests on my previous endeavor, a lot of those guests were from like New York, the DMV area, some from like the South, but I'm happy to have somebody from PG County.
so excited. Pretty Girl County.
Pretty Girl County is in the building. It's so fun. And I was so happy that because I really had no idea. I thought you were from here. I don't know why I thought that. I just assumed that you was from here. So to find out that you was from PG.
Yes, or whatever.
Like, now we can talk about different things because we're from the same area. And how long have you been in Atlanta, though?
I came to Atlanta to go to Clark. And then once I graduated from Clark, I moved to Houston for a second and then came back to Atlanta.
Okay.
So I think I've probably been back in Atlanta for like 4 years now.
What made you leave Houston?
I left Houston because it was a really like harsh and abrupt transition. I went right after I graduated, but I got pregnant with my daughter and I was like, this is not really like a place that I feel like I'm ready to adapt to right now. But I left Houston. Houston was cool. Not my place to live, but it was cool. Houston was cool.
I asked that because I feel like there's such a debate with people moving from Atlanta and Houston. Because I visited Houston maybe like twice, and I visited Dallas. And every time I go to Houston, in my mind, I'm like, I could live out here.
Yeah.
But it's just so far.
It's so far. In contrast to Atlanta, in my opinion, Houston is like Atlanta, just on a larger and more delayed scale. I think definitely like the cuisine in Houston is a lot better than the food in Atlanta.
For sure.
The nightlives are like really aligned, but it's so slow.
In Houston?
Yeah.
It is. But I feel like it's slow here too.
It is slow.
But I guess compared to Houston would definitely be slower.
But where we come from, this is very slow.
Yes.
Because we come from like no shade, movers, shakers.
Shit to
like
do.
we're like, let's go, let's do this. You are moving too slow, you're in the way. But yeah, Houston is even slower.
How does that feel? Because I was every time I like meet people in Atlanta who want to date me, which is very stressful, I feel like the disconnect is always, he's so annoying behind his camera. I feel like the disconnect is always like that I move with a sense of urgency. Like I know what I need to do. I have a plan of action and I'm going to get stuff done. And I feel like when I meet people to date out here, there's like that character personality disconnect because they're used to doing things at a slower pace. It's like, why am I rushing?
110%.
I mean, it's like, I just want to.
110%. You said date and I like cringed. Like the guys are sleeping till 12 o'clock. They're not waking up until 2 p.m. to start their day.
So the guys are sleeping till 12 o'clock?
They're sleeping till 12 o'clock. They're not up. These boys are not
What y'all
up.
doing?
They're not
12 o'clock.
up. They're drunk from the night before.
Oh, yeah, true. At Magic City.
At Magic City, they're taking these substances. So, and I think that it's just really different. You know, no shade.
Substances.
It's just, it's different. Especially like when you talk about like dating. Coming from PG in the DC area, it is a different ball game here. Like, you know, up there, those boys work for the White House. They work in politics. Like, they're like very progressive. It's coin.
Yeah.
Not saying that the boys here don't have that, but it's just a different beast. Like, it's a different animal, I think. So,
And that reminded me, that's what it was. It was the pretenders. I think, like, meeting people out here and they have an idea of how they think they're supposed to be or whatever. And being from up north, I feel like people can always tell that we're from up north anyway. Because, like, I feel like our vibe and just our personality is so different.
Yeah.
But I feel like they think that it means that they have to, like, adjust themselves to us. Mm-hmm. And then that just creates even more disconnect because you're not even being yourself. At this point, you feel like you need to alter who you are in Atlanta. And I feel like there's so much pretending because people don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know if they want to be an entrepreneur because that's so big in Atlanta. They want to scam. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
And, like, they just involve all of their romantic people in their shit without realizing,
in the
like,
situations,
who are you?
Yeah, I think Atlanta is the place where you could really be whatever you want. Like, you could go and work a 9 to 5 and drive a Bentley. And it's confusing how you got the Bentley, but you scamming on the side.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, just with it being considered Black Hollywood, there is sort of kind of like this image that I think our generation feels like they have to uphold. Like, I have to drive the fastest car. I got to be chrome heart, denim tears down. I got to have a Rolex. I got to have a chain, or I'm inadequate.
I just learned about that brand, by the way.
Denim tears?
Is that what it's denim
or
tears?
Or chrome hearts?
Both of them.
Both of them?
Which one are you? People probably gonna watch this to be like, she's so slow. Which one is the one where it looks like a flower?
So that's the denim tears, like where the boys they'll have on the
tears.
jeans. The girls will do it too, and it's like just the flowers all over. Chrome heart, that one's been around for Chrome heart.
Which one is that one?
That's the one like with the heart. I mean with the crosses.
The big crosses. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that's what that was. Mm-hmm. Whose brand is that?
I don't know, but Chrome Heart is like so exclusive because they only have stores in like Vegas, Miami, and LA. Okay. So if you have it on, that means that you got it from those stores. Okay. So I think Chrome Heart probably came around. I remember Chrome Heart like with the pandemic when everybody was getting PPP. People were Chrome Heart down. Like,
sure they was.
It was Chrome Heart down. So yeah, like I can't tell you how many experiences I've had dating in Atlanta, like where it's not.
So what do you do for a living? So it's a no. Okay. So if you could pick any state that where you would want to date someone, based on the area, I would say, like, which state would that be? So I feel like all of these states are trash at this point.
This is gonna sound real crazy. I would like, a piece of man that's like out away, like Arizona, like you're not.
Nobody know you.
You're not doing nothing. You're not. I mean, you're doing something with your time.
Yeah,
but you're not
out here wilding out.
You don't even need an Instagram.
Yeah,
we'll be taking pictures of mountains, the desert.
True. Yeah,
or DC or the DMV. Okay. Just because I think I can understand the type of people that are there. Atlanta is a scary place.
It really is.
It's so scary.
Atlanta stresses me out.
It's so scary.
I'm on a dating pause for a long time right now.
Yes. It really makes you come back to yourself and be like, okay, listen.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy out here. What you gonna do?
Yeah. I feel like we need those moments too. Like, I always need, especially if I date, because I really don't like serial daters who will like date somebody and then maybe like a month later they're dating someone else. I just feel like there has to be some time in between to like gather yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what role did you play in your most recent experience and what are you transforming for your next experience? You can't do that within that short like window. You really need a good amount of time to self.
That's a red flag. Like 1 month and then another month and then another month and then another month. And I think like what you just said is very true. Like reflecting on yourself and like the role you had in the previous relationship is important. I've had to have those moments too. Yeah. Because it's not always your partner, or it's not always this was a bad person. Sometimes you were the bad person, or like sometimes there are things that childhood wounds that you haven't yet tackled that show up in your relationship subconsciously. Yeah. So I think that's not really talked about enough when we talk about romantic relationships. And I think that's kind of why we are always in a struggle a little bit.
Yes, because I was recently, and I have been the villain in some situations. Definitely been the villain in situations, but I've always recognized like where those things come from my childhood and dealing with my mom and all of that stuff that was happening in that household. But I think with me, it's harder because I feel like I'm a therapist. So I feel like there's already this expectation that I embody a therapist like 25/8, and I fucking don't. And,
but you're human.
But people do not. That is not a belief when you date people. Like in their mind, it's like, oh, they're a therapist. Like they're supposed to know.
Yeah.
They know the books. They know the research. Like they should know this shit. But it's like I'm still a person who dealt with different types of trauma, and I'm still like processing it and navigating through it and like healing from it. And I feel like when you're dating people, there's not enough like grace being shown. It's like people want you to show them grace for their shit, but they don't really know how to like show it to other people.
Yeah, and even with you being a therapist, it makes you even more hyper aware.
Yeah.
So like you're like extra healing. You know, like you have to like do extra work and like really heal yourself. But I think the most important thing, like you said, is grace. And in this season, at least of like my life, not even just dating, but in relationships and business partnerships, that's been a theme for me, grace.
Yeah.
And like not only grace with people, but like grace with myself. Like it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to wake up and be mad and not know why. Like those things are all normal and they're natural. But having that grace to say, okay, you know what? But we move.
Yeah.
Like I could like go on for hours talking about mother-daughter relationships and like,
I was just about to ask you that. Like, what does it look like in your healing stage with having a daughter?
Honestly, I think that I know that I needed my daughter to be able to effectively heal and recognize things subconsciously that I didn't even know that I was dealing with or battling with. In contrast, having a daughter does make me have a lot more grace for my mom because there are moments when I'm like, whoo, like this is some heavy shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, like people always ask me all the time, what's the hardest part about being a parent? Because growing up, at least in my community, we were always taught like kids are expensive. Like don't have no kids till you got a job and a man. And honestly, thankfully, like for me, financially, I'm able to take care of her and all of her needs and wants. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is the emotional expense. Like, it is emotionally expensive to be a parent. Like, you are always worried about someone else. You are all constantly worried about, okay, did I say this right? I don't want to affect her self-esteem. Was this the moment that she's going to remember when she's 16? Like, and it's like having to do those, like, kind of self-check moments in the moment. I think back to when I was 4 and my mom was like raising me and I'm like, damn, it took a lot of patience because it really is kind of those moments. I read a quote somewhere and it was like, every time you interact with your child, you have the ability to uplift them or damage their self-esteem in every interaction. And no matter what kind of day I'm having, no matter who just cut me off, no matter what boy is pissing me off, like I'm still a mom. At the end of the day. And so I have to show up in those spaces, but also give myself grace that every day is not 100%. Some days I might be 75%, but I got to give her that full 75%. And so as a parent, that's kind of my biggest push. Like, give her grace, give myself grace, and we do the best we can every single day and know that this is, you know, like our parents did the best we could, you know, and when people send their kids out into the world, most times that's really the best that they could do. So that question for me is one that runs deep because definitely therapeutically, emotionally, like being a parent is emotionally expensive. Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But I love that. I think, and for those watching, because I feel like people need to use discernment. I think the biggest contributor to that really, because I love how you're saying like your goal is to be more aware of the interactions that you give to your daughter, which will help her with how she is socially with other people. Like she'll be more caring and considerate and thoughtful and all those great things. And I think for a lot of parents, when it comes to like showing our parents grace, for me, it's always been like the accountability part.
Right.
It's like, it's easier for me to show you grace
if you're accountable.
When you can say like, you know what, I did fuck up.
Right.
I did hurt y'all a little bit when y'all was little.
Right.
You know, I did. I wasn't there. But it's like when you deny that, it makes it so much more difficult to say, you know what, it was hard for you, it was tough. It's like I have to find it in me to be like, okay.
Right. To give
maybe they don't know how to apologize.
Right.
Maybe they don't know how to say like, damn, I fucked up, because then they have to deal with the shame and the guilt and all of that other energy that comes with that.
Right.
And they're really keeping themselves stuck, because there's nothing worse than going around the world and you just doing shit and denying experiences you gave other people.
Yeah.
I can't. That's where I draw the line.
Socially, that's prevalent in the African American community because of how their parents raised them. And so it becomes a cognitive distortion. Like,
ooh, look at you, like cognitive distortion.
That's my favorite word. I learned it from my therapist.
And that's why I love people who go to therapy, because then they start walking out the room with different words. And you're like, oh, okay, look at you. Language.
But
distortion.
it is. It's a cognitive distortion in that I'm your parent, I'm your superior, you do what I say, you don't have a voice, and I grew up like that.
Yeah.
So to break that mold, like with my daughter, I apologize in the moment. If I'm wrong, if I've done something, if I've hurt her feelings, I apologize to her, because in turn, I want her to be able to take that same accountability.
Yeah.
Was that my story growing up? Absolutely not. But I'm doing the work by going to therapy and recognizing, like, hey, even though you're a parent, you are not always right. And even if you did do your best, sometimes it still hurt, you know? So it's okay to say, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't lower your authority. That doesn't, but I think, at least in my experience, they don't do it because they don't want it to kind of, I don't know why, but I agree with you in that, it is a lot easier for me to be forgiven if you are accountable. But I do realize I have to give you grace even in your lack of accountability, because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And that kind of fuels me too as a parent to make sure that my daughter knows that, you, even though you are a child, you still have feelings and they are valid. And I hear you and I see you. And you're right. Aww. Maybe I didn't have to yell at you for slamming the door. And it's not your fault. I had 16 meetings and all these people are getting on my nerves. I'm sorry. And it's not, I'm sorry for telling you to close the door. I'm sorry for yelling at you in a way that made you feel small, because I never want to make you feel small. And so we talk like that. We have
like
those
I was
kind
your
of
daughter just now. I was sitting here like,
like we have those kind of conversations, and she'll tell me, I let her have the space to have her emotions. She'll tell me, right now I just need a moment to myself. And I'll say, okay.
Yes, lady.
And when we're around older people, they're like, that's disrespectful, and I'm like, no, that's a boundary.
Yeah.
That's a boundary. So when she's my age and somebody's doing something she don't like, that's my boundary. Don't cross it.
Yeah.
Straight like
that.
That
just really shows you generational patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
That older generations view it as disrespect, which is probably why they weren't teaching their kids, our parents, how to communicate in that way, which would have helped us communicate that, you're really upsetting me right now, and I kind of
you're really pissing me the
time
fuck
to
off.
myself.
I need a moment. Because
parents do act like kids don't need moments to themselves. Like they don't experience no emotions. They don't know what's going on. They're oblivious to everything. It's like kids are very, very, very smart, very fucking aware, very curious. Like that's kind of, I feel like that's why they know a lot of things, because they want to know. They're yearning for someone to teach them things. And they're yearning for connection. Yeah. And I feel like the greatest thing you can give to your child is the space for them to connect and be vulnerable and be honest and be free with themselves. Like, your daughter's gonna grow up and be just so well-rounded, so open.
I have a lot of businesses. I have a lot of relationships, a lot of friends. That is the most important thing in the world to me. That is what I wake up and say, I want to be better at.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that this contribution to the world, this person, this soul is something meaningful. And I want her to be impactful, and I always encourage her to dream beyond just what is societal norms and things like that. And even at 4, she's like, Mommy, I'm going to be an astronaut, or I'm going to, and I'm like, okay, do it. I didn't dream that big.
Yeah.
I didn't have that space, and my mom did the best she could.
Yeah.
But we grew up kind of, I think, again, perpetuating that kids are seen and not heard. As long as you have a roof, I fed you, you got clothes, you
That's
good. What you
yeah,
sad
you
about?
should be fine.
You know, like what you upset about? And
like
it's
time
like,
with you.
yeah, I'm still hungry. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
full, and I've slept, and I woke up and have warm clothes, but I'm still sad.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I appreciate having conversations like this with people that get it. Like, yeah, they're kids, but one day she won't be a kid.
Yeah.
One
She'll
day
be a full-grown adult. Looking for connections and relationships and endeavors and so
Yeah.
many great things.
Yeah.
And I love that because I feel like nowadays you hear people, well, I always hear people saying like they don't want to have kids because they're scared of what the world will look like for them. But I feel like if you're raising a child to be the best human soul that they can be, then it's like that's really all that you can do.
Yeah.
And everything else from there is up to them the same way it's up to us to just embody what we feel our purpose is and what we're designed to do. But I love that you said she is going to be, what did you just say? Like a soul contribution to the world.
Yeah.
I like the way that you said that because that is really what it is. Like these kids are they're contributors to what our experiences are now and what they'll look like when we're old as hell.
Right.
And we're talking about like Social Security and what the economy is going to look like.
Right.
Like we need these kids to be aware of these things because they're going to be the ones in charge.
Right.
And that does scare me a little bit because
it's scary as
a lot of
hell.
parents who just aren't really communicating with their children effectively and openly, and they just become lost.
It's more than Instagram pictures. It's more than getting them fly.
Yes.
It's more than them rapping NBA YoungBoy songs. Like, don't get me wrong,
Yes.
I am not a grandma parent. Like, I like my daughter to be fly. I
Yeah.
like her to do all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we in the cut. Like, we do that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like, I'm her mom. So everything I do, everything I show her, everything I teach her, where else does she learn it from? You know what I mean? And it's like, my hope is that when I send her into the world, I've equipped her enough to be able, I can't fight every battle for her, but equipped her enough to be able to navigate in a way that feels good for her.
Yeah.
You know, like I pray for that. Like that's something that I really pray for and I work at. Like shit is hard, you know?
I'm sure she'll be fully equipped.
Yeah.
Like I love meeting parents though who really connect with their children. It's another guest I had on here, Dawn. I love just her engagement with her children. And it's another individual I'm going to have on here as well. Her name is Amber. But I think all three of y'all, and I love meeting like young parents that I feel like they should all know each other and stuff. But like she does like yoga with her kids and they just seem very free spirited, like outdoorsy kind of kids. And so I just love seeing how parents like raise their children very differently with the same objective and the same goals, but it's different. But you just get to see how kids are just flourishing in their own entities because of how their parents are talking to them.
Do you want kids?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes. Like I was watching, oh my gosh, Coach Prime, the new season. And it was one episode where like all of his kids were in a house. And I was like, that's what I want. I want to be in a house where all my kids just running around the house, asking me questions and just like go talk, go ask the parent. Like I desire to have that.
Yeah.
I just,
as a woman, like, I don't know, man. Like, I was never like the girl that's like, I'm gonna have a big old house, big old family. Like, that was never me. I knew I wanted kids, but believe me when I tell you, like, it's nothing that I could have ever thought in a million years. Like, not even like a little piece.
Yeah.
Like, and it with the world being the way it is, and like, she teaches me self-love. Like, she teaches me, like, you dance like nobody's watching. Like, if you having a bad moment, don't let that bad moment make you have a bad day. Like, so she makes me a better person. Like, I know it's so cliche. People are like, I needed
really
my
makes
child.
sense.
Like,
Yeah.
I need her.
Yeah.
She's cool.
And I feel like it's a lot of people who say that who aren't used to being around kids. But if you're around kids bring out like the best in you because they're not seeing the world from an adult lens. They're seeing it from a child lens.
Right.
So it like brings you back. It's
Right.
like it takes you back to your own childhood. They're so like you could be being mean and they'll just want to come and cuddle you or give you some type of affection. Like you should feel better when you are around children.
Just hearing them laugh. Like,
yes, I love hearing kids laugh.
just hearing them laugh and just like the way that they are just so unfiltered. Like,
Yeah.
I wear my hair, I'll just be transparent. I wear my hair like in a lot of different styles. And whenever I'm getting it done, I'll FaceTime my daughter. And that's how I know. Like, if I'm about to eat or if it's like,
no, mommy, I don't like that.
yeah, no, like,
not cute on you.
She likes my hair when it's straight.
Okay.
So when I came home with the braids, she was like, "Are you
Who
done?
are you?
Like,
Yeah.
are you done? Is she gonna put your wig on top of those?" Like,
Not your wig on top of those.
Like, it gets real. Like, or that doesn't match. Like, why are you wearing that? Or mommy, you need to slow down on the eating a little bit. Like,
they're so funny.
But it's like, you take it for what it is, because it's like, you're not trying to make me feel bad, or maybe you are, I don't know. But I just
they're just being honest.
You know, I just laugh. But yeah, we could talk about kids for hours.
No, yeah, I love
hours and
talking about
hours.
kids. I love it because I grew up having a big family. I have a huge family. So I think that's really why I was like, I really want kids. And I have a particular cousin who adopted maybe like 5 kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think, but I didn't know that they were adopted until I got older.
That's
because they were
great.
just always
Meshed in with
there.
your family,
That we, you know, my family is the kind of family that's like, if you bring your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever, they end up
family.
just being family. Like, we'll be like, so where is so and so?
Yeah.
Very extra, very rude. But I just appreciate, I guess, that component of my family, as dysfunctional as they are.
Yeah.
I do appreciate just having that experience of coming from that and like desiring that, because
Yeah.
I was always around kids. I was always outside, or I was inside watching movies. And so like, I'm very still connected to my childlike self, which helps me like put different things into perspective really when I'm dating.
Yeah.
Because when I'm dating, if I'm like having disconnect with someone, I kind of look at them in a sense of like, okay, if I'm aware of like the childhood traumas that you experienced, if you express it to me, then I'll be like, okay, how they're being to me is really their inner child.
Right.
And it's not their full self. But I think as an adult, it's hard to
Separate.
It's hard to separate that, because you're like, but you're grown now.
Yeah.
And what people are you around that's keeping you aware of like your behaviors, of your traits? What kind of friends do you have? What kind of relatives do you have? Is anyone saying, hey, you may want to work on that because, you know, that's not really helpful or healthy for you? And I feel like being a therapist, it's only annoying because I really come across people who have no idea
Like,
what
so
childhood
unaware,
stuff.
right?
So unaware. And I hate being the one that bursts the bubbles. Like, oh, you was doing this with your previous. No, that's not gonna really work here. That's not, like, you're gaslighting me, and you think that I'm not aware, but I'm telling you that you're gaslighting me. And then I feel like it becomes an argument, like, I'm not doing this, and it's like, okay, now I feel like
no,
I'm having
textbook,
I know what the hell is going on.
This is what's happening.
And so I never just want to be in a space where I feel like I have to defend myself, and I feel like that's what tends to happen. So people tend to see the aftermath of that on my on Instagram, on my stories.
Yeah.
When I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
About those people.
I think since I've been going to therapy, and I've recognized like some of my like least desirable, what are we calling them? Like least desirable
Attributes, traits, behaviors.
It does definitely make me a lot more aware, and it gets real in the field. Yeah. And then you think about like what you just said, like, okay, these are your childhood traumas resurfacing. At what point as a partner are you like, okay, I'm really not dealing with those childhood traumas, because you're not even aware of them.
Yeah.
And then at what point are you like, okay, well, wow, you really can't control this. Like, it's such a tricky scale, because sometimes people are great people, but some of the traits that they either subconsciously don't recognize or know that they have and can't fix, it's like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, being so aware.
It is. I really don't like it. And I think a part of that too is like, they'll assume that I'm not aware, especially if I have my moments where I begin to react, because I'm the kind of person, like, I'll show grace time and time again with under the impression that, okay, you're going to work on these things and this is what's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, once I'm at a point where I have to repeat the same problem and I'm like, okay, this is like the 3rd, 4th, 5th time. that's when I'm like, okay, now what is going on? Because we've had this conversation, we've had this dialogue way too many times, and it may be improving, but it's like also people from the South. It's like there's no urgency with getting it taken care of. I want to figure out what the hell is going on,
so we can fix it.
Figure out the root and actually address it, so that I don't wake up tomorrow doing the same shit I just did, even though I make that mistake.
Do you think that? Look, I'm acting like it's my show, asking the question.
No, that's what I want though.
Do you think that a lot of the friends and the family members are complicit with this, especially when dealing with men, specifically black men? Mm-hmm. Like, complicit to the behavior, and then in turn makes us seem like we're nagging black women.
Yes, for sure. I feel like there's a disconnect when people don't recognize that when someone is coming to you with like a need, that they're not needy and they're not doing all these things. They're coming to you for connection.
Right.
And as women, we are naturally seeking connection because we're more, I don't want to say we're more emotional, but we're more in tune with our emotions because it's been more acceptable for us to sit and have, like, go to our parents at times, or it's okay for us to cry. It's okay for us to have these kinds of emotions. And for men, they're not used to having it. So for them to experience it from a woman is like, like, this is a lot. Like you're doing way too much. It's like, no, I'm actually not doing too much. It's just it's based on your perspective, and that comes from your childhood.
Yeah.
And you have to recognize that as a man and say, okay, I understand the nature of a woman.
Right.
The nature of a woman is very nurturing, is very compassionate. You know, we're very, for the most part.
Yeah.
A lot of aren't, but naturally we're very warm and inviting, and we want to like be healers. We want to be helpful and resourceful.
Right.
And I feel like if men aren't used to that with a woman, probably because their family isn't like that, or they don't have any female friends, or no like real female connections, then there is that disconnect with connecting with women. I feel like that's why there's so many problems.
Yeah, and just like going off of what you said, I think a lot of the music kind of devalues, not even kind of, 100% devalues women. And just the idea of love in our generation right now is very skewed.
Yes.
An issue that I struggle with a lot is being a woman that is very self-sufficient and independent. A lot of men meet me and think that, like, I desire to just be this INDEPENDENT woman all the time. And it's like,
strong.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah. But I would love to be somewhere put up with still, you know, I don't want to take out the trash. I don't want to have to do these manly things. I have AAA, but I would much rather my man fix my tire. Like, and these men, they are so, the idea of like chivalry is so dead. Yeah. And it's like, that's so unfortunate for me.
Those are the boys.
The boys, for sure.
Yeah, I want to say the boys. I feel like when people, I always talk to some of my guy friends like this, but I'll be like, the men to me are like and this is, people are probably gonna watch this and be like, what the fuck? Are like the Morris Chestnuts.
Yeah.
Gazelles,
like I'm walking outside, I just finished baking cookies. You cutting the grass.
Yeah.
You cutting the grass.
Funny.
You know.
I just love I'm like picturing what this looks like.
Like you see, I'm like, baby, like dinner's ready. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I love being domestic. But I am not cooking food for a man that can't fix my tire or can't, like, you are not making my life any easier, sir. Like, I am self-sufficient enough to take care of all of my own financials. Right. Why would I now invite you into my space and now I'm arguing with you, still taking care of all of everything else?
That's my life.
This is a burden, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
this is a burden, bro.
Like, you know, so it's like, I want to be, I value men, and I value, like, the respect of a man. You should respect a man, and there are certain things that, you know, you just do for your man, but for my man, not a boy.
I'm gonna ask you this. My homeboy just asked me this question the other day, which was very interesting because I don't know what made him ask me this, but he said, and I want you to answer it now.
Okay.
He said, what do you deem as safety you need in a relationship? It's a two-part, but I'm gonna let you answer that one first. So what do you deem as safety you need in a relationship?
Ooh. This is so crazy because I was talking to one of my guy friends about security and safety maybe like 2 weeks ago. And for me, safety is a space where I can just be vulnerable and I can experience all of the emotions of a woman, and sometimes it's not logical, but that doesn't make it invalid, you know. Honesty, no matter how difficult it is, I think that honesty, if I know that you'll be honest with me, I'll always feel safe with you. And because I know that your motives are not ulterior, like this is cut and dry, that's really important to me. Say honesty and vulnerability, because I think you can build a house on anything, right? But that doesn't mean that it will last and withstand like weather storms. But if we have a good foundation, the roof might blow off, the windows might break, but the house is still there and we can rebuild that. So that to me is very important, and that makes me feel safe. Like as a woman, just knowing that no matter what is going on, I can call you and just be raw and honest with you. Whether I'm right, wrong, indifferent, like I can be honest and not fear judgment. And then with me being vulnerable, it's not, like you said, it's not too much. It's just, okay, I welcome all of these feelings, or even if I don't understand them, this is a place where you can really just, me and my friends use the analogy, take your wig off. Just be yourself, you know? Like, just take it off. So that really makes me feel safe. It's not really so much, for me right now in this phase of my life, it's not really so much like I want a man to take care of me financially and spiritually and all those things. I just right now really value vulnerability and honesty. So
That's so interesting, because that was my response to him.
I'm so long-winded. I hope I answered the question.
No, you were good. Because I said that I was like, safety would be the space. Safety for me would be a space to express myself vulnerably and to be received with empathy.
Oh, yeah.
And to feel that the line of communication is completely open and there's trust.
That's the same thing.
That's why I was looking at you like...
That's the same thing.
I think a lot of us kind of want the same thing. Because I feel like that's really where it starts. Like, if I can be vulnerable and I feel seen, I mean... that's the best gift you can give.
Because that's how I can. That's how I grow. Like that's how I thrive. Like that's how I am efficient. Yeah. I don't really grow in small spaces where I'm told like, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, you're nagging. Oh, you're so emotional. Oh, it's.
Because now you're trying to dismiss me. You're dimming my light. You're bringing me down.
You're
it's
invalidating
negative.
me.
You're invalidating me
because you don't even understand your emotions. So there's no way that you can process mine.
And it's manipulative as fuck.
Yeah.
And the other part of the question was, I really don't know why he asked me this. And how do you believe you provide that to a man in a relationship?
Ooh. Honestly, I haven't always provided that. I have not always provided that. And I can be honest in that because I didn't really know how to provide those spaces to myself. So I wasn't always able to really just experience my emotions and feel them all at one time. I used to be a person that would suppress a lot. I used to be a person that would say, okay, this hurts, now what? Keep moving. Like, still go to work, still do this, still do that. So I wasn't providing that space for myself, so there was no way that I could provide that to a man. Or even the honesty factor. I would frequently act like things were okay. And subconsciously start to believe that they were okay, and they would be the most bizarre situations. And I'd be like, oh, it's fine. Like, I don't care. I'm not tripping. I'm pee. But no, that hurt really bad. And it wasn't okay. And it is okay for me to be sad and upset about it. And so now at this phase, I think that a way that I would provide that to my partner is in the same ways that I would want it to be provided to me. I don't think it's gender specific. Like, I think my man should be able to come to me and be upset or sad about something and erase that idea that black men can't be sad or black men can't cry or black men have to put on the armor and just go and be the head of the household. You do still need to be the head of the household, but at the end of the day, you can come to me and we can talk about whatever it is that you're experiencing or going through without judgment. Without me thinking, oh, well, he a crybaby. Like, you know, or
yes, they want it.
Toughen up, boy. Like, no, because I think vulnerability is toughness. Like, that's how you become strong. I think people that act like nothing bothers them and
they stress me out.
They're weak. You know, like those people are actually really weak. And if you really sat down and dive in, dove into those people, you would see that underneath that vulnerability is probably years of rejection or years of invalidation.
Fear, abandonment.
Yeah,
so many
abandonment
things,
and so many things. So I think in order for any situation, relationships, friendships, business partnerships to work, it has to be a level of vulnerability.
Yeah.
It has to be honesty. So me just providing the same thing that I would expect from my partner, safe space, open spaces, no judgment. I think that comes from no judgment.
Yeah.
So I don't make like little small jokes like, oh, you weak. Or like, you know, because those things
passive aggressiveness.
Those don't cultivate a safe space. So.
Yeah. And the only reason why I keep saying, I don't know why he asked me, because I date women and I feel like it's the same thing but I think that the disconnect is that there is an expectation that women should be more aware of certain things because like we're the same
but is it not
people, but it's like, I mean, it usually is, but I think I feel like there's still a disconnect within their identity.
Okay.
Because of the need, if you're dealing with certain types of like lesbian women who are like pillow princesses or whatever.
What's a pillow princess?
So they're the ones who just like to receive like head and stuff. Like they're not doing no sexual stuff with you.
Okay, so the pillow princesses are like,
I say that they're really straight girls who just like to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah. But a lot of dominant women date those girls, so they're used to what their perception is. Like they want a dominant woman who does the quote unquote like masculine stuff. Like they want them to dress a certain way. They're not comfortable with them wearing like regular panties or regular bras or like expressing their femininity. Like they're not used to that. So then you have masculine women who feel like they have to diminish that within themselves to be accepted by those types of women. And I feel like whenever I've dated people, I'm so free within myself, and I love being so vulnerable that I want the person I'm dating to be vulnerable. I want you to be your full self. You want to wear a bra, like wear your bra. I really don't care. But I think that it's such a change for them, and it's such a challenge because it's like, damn, how do I turn off what I've been doing this whole time to find acceptance and to damn near people please, to now being able to be myself.
It's so crazy to like hear the struggles of acceptance even within smaller like communities, right? Like, so like just imagine that pressure. Like you want to be accepted by the societal world. This is a social norm, and then you come into your own group, and then you still have to try to fight.
It's like I'm trying to get in here.
Yeah, and it's like, damn, like why can't I just be myself?
Yeah.
Why can't I just be, okay, one day I want to wear a bra, one day I want to wear a sports bra, one day I don't want to wear nothing. And why is that not okay? Like, where do those ideas come from? Like, where is
no fucking idea.
Like, where does it come from?
It literally stresses. I really be trying to figure out, I'm like, who is curating these, like, ideals?
Who is writing this shit?
Like,
who is writing the script?
Where is the manual? Because I ain't seen it on Google or nothing. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But I really don't like it because it just creates so much conflict and, like, you're having to almost battle someone who's similar to you to get them to see, like, it's okay to be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to conform to what you think I need you to do. Like, even as a therapist, people feel like they need to conform. Like, oh, I want to show her that I read, or I want to, like, show her that I can think deep, too. It's like, I'm not expecting you to read the books that I read.
Right.
I don't care if you do or not.
I'm not
like, I do it. That's my thing. But I want you to do your thing.
Yeah.
Whatever your thing is, I want you to be full in that thing.
Yeah.
But don't play them
type of games. Don't try
here.
to be me to make me like you. Don't. That's weird.
Because then I feel like you're tricking me.
Yeah.
Like you're pretending to be someone you are not.
And then you
now I'm mad.
Pretend for so long, and now I'm confused.
And now I'm confused. And that confusion leads to conflict and anger, and then that leads to chaos.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I have a lot of friends that date women, and I just always thought, and this is my ignorance.
I'm curious.
I just always thought that it would just be so much better because the women are just more like,
stressful.
I thought it was more tea over there. Like I thought it was just like, okay, like, because if I'm calling you crying, you automatically gonna say, you know what's going on. Like, let me take a minute, girl. Come sit down. Like, girl, like,
okay.
Like, I'm thinking like it's like that. Like, whereas the boys are like, duh.
Yeah, like, what are we talking about? still need to talk. Fuck,
Like,
what
2K
did I do?
came out. You gonna give me 2K?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm crying.
So it's
Poor
to
guys.
hear your experience
Yeah.
and know that that's not the reality. Like,
Yeah, it's not. Because people are still dealing with their, like, so I've dated people who had, like, very religious parents. So then it was, like, that identity thing of, like, they're telling me that this is an abomination and I'm going to hell and I need to repent.
Jesus.
So I can't be myself. So now I'm going to have sex with guys and hope
I'm
that
trying to, like,
I want to appease my parents. And I've dated people like that, and I'm the bubble burster. So I'm the person that's like, I don't care about what your parents think. Your parents are wrong. Your parents are leading you into a space of self-destruction.
Yeah.
And they aren't. They're not seeing you for who you are. But I feel like when you say stuff like that to someone, it's like, they talking about my parents.
Yeah.
Like
you don't know.
I
nothing.
can't.
My
You don't
mama-
know
my
me.
mama love
Like
me.
right. My mama done everything for me. She
Yeah.
did her best. It's like she did do her best
Right.
with what she knew.
Right.
But her best is causing you to self-destruct.
And now you are dealing with identity crisis because you're not who you want to be.
Right.
You're who your parents think you should be. And I think that they're going to probably watch this and be like, this girl's going
Your parents?
straight to
Oh,
hell.
who?
No.
What?
But, like, when you think about, like, I'm religious, but I'm not bound to one
Holied out.
denomination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I believe in God. I believe in, I'm very spiritual. But the idea that we have to conform to this way of life or you're going to go to hell doesn't really make sense to me.
At all.
And so I think that a lot of times, a lot of the judgment is, I'm not sure which religion you've experienced, but Christianity, right? Okay, yeah. So a lot of the judgment is in the church.
Yeah.
And I've been in so many situations where the pastor is sinning. And this is who's getting on in front of us every Sunday and preaching the word.
Yes.
And it's like, if you really read the Bible, and I've also read the Quran, and I've, you know, like I'm just very into, I like to do research.
That's good.
So like theologically, when you go and like dive into a lot of these different denominations, you realize that it's really no denomination. Like, if, you know, and so just to make a long story short, to like hear that you've experienced that in your community is really kind of like,
What the fuck?
what? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's, ooh, but.
And it's a lot. Like, even because I'm around, and I can't wait to have all my gay guy friends on these episodes because they are just so hilarious. But it's the same in that community as well, because it's the idea that it's not acceptable to be a feminine or a femboy or, you know, that embody that energy.
I love femboys.
And you have like masculine gays who probably want to do that, but it's not comfortable for them within their environment. Yeah. And that's why I tell people, like, I posted this on a story. I was like, it's not enough to just have community and just be around people.
Right.
Just to be like, I need friends. So I'm gonna just have these friends. It's like they really have to be, you have to be in spaces where people allow you to be yourself and they're willing to like support you in that healing journey of identifying where all of those nuances came from you and addressing it with the people who caused that, like, and then moving forward and finding forgiveness and grace for yourself so that you feel comfortable in your own skin, which is really why I love my gay people, because when we are being free, it's like,
it's beautiful.
It's so magical.
It's beautiful. It's, and honestly, like, I'm telling all my business.
You was gay before?
I was never gay before. I would kiss a girl though. I would probably be like a pillow princess. But you know, I know y'all don't like that, so I would just
stress.
I would stay in my lane game.
Stress.
But I'll tell you this: I semi kind of dated a white guy. Semi, because it was like
about to make me mad.
3 weeks, a little bit.
Okay.
And then
what was the attraction?
My stepdaddy was like, "No, ma'am."
But what was the attraction?
I couldn't tell you. I think I think it was different. I think it was something that was like, ooh, like, okay, let me see what they doing over here.
Okay.
We were never intimate, but I will tell you in that 3 weeks, and I had to cut him off because he was very transparent with me on like the 4th day and tell me he was bipolar depressive. And at that point, I didn't know a lot about mental health, but I knew that was crazy a little bit to me back then. So I'm like 18, like this man just told me he's bipolar. Let me, I don't know enough about this subject to dive into it. And then he kind of like, I think he had like a manic episode on me one time. Okay. And I was like, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
And just from what I've seen in movies about how they do what they do, I was like, nah.
Well, it's for
Let me leave you alone.
for a lot of people, because I know a lot of people who struggle with bipolar depressive. So because it's really like, it's obviously all like a chemical imbalance
right?
in your brain, and for people who have it, they're trying to navigate what that looks like for them, and like what spaces could trigger certain episodes, and like what people they need to be around. Because a lot of times you can't tell when someone is going through it because they're perfectly normal. They're not normal, but like they're engaging fully. They're very social. They'll be out and about. But then when they're at home, it's like a completely different.
And I was young.
Space.
I hadn't started. I think maybe it was my sophomore year in college. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have the knowledge that I do now. I didn't. And so it was scary to me because it was unknown. But we dated for 3 weeks, and I never tell people that. But the experience was so different, and like. It was probably around the holidays. It was around Thanksgiving because I remember meeting his mom and his dad or whatever, and just being like such an anomaly.
You met his parents in 3 weeks?
That they go quick.
Like, oh my god.
They go real quick. Like I was like, I quickly realized like just how beautiful us as Black people actually are to them, because I was like an anomaly to them, and I had never felt so like eccentric in my life. Yeah, like it. But I say that to say, like, those people, they allow their kids the space to be as crazy, as free, as loose as they want. Now, should it have some walls? Absolutely, because I don't think a 16-year-old should be saying, fuck you, mom. But,
for sure.
You know what I mean? But I mean, like, they allow them the space to be and just grow and just have. And I mean, a lot of times it's to their detriment, but I think there are some wins and tokens from each culture that you can take. And if I don't take anything, which I probably won't, from that culture, but that is one thing that I'm like...
It's the way you looked at the camera.
That's one thing that I'm really like, damn, we're missing that.
Yeah.
Because they can grow. Like, these people are... blonde hair and blue eyes, the color of the wall. And this boy brought me home. And I got a 28-inch bust down. Like, nails long. God. Like, Juicy Couture sweatsuit.
I cannot.
You know, I'm PG.
Like, who is this?
I'm PG AF. So,
who is coming in here?
You know, like, I'm PG as fuck. So I got on my Juicy Couture, my Uggs. Like, I'm in there tea, but I'm sitting in this house, this beautiful home with these people that look nothing like me. And they're appearing to be accepting of me. I know the reality. But just... allowing that, my parents wouldn't have went for that. Yeah. Don't bring no. Don't do that.
Boy in his house.
Are you crazy?
Lost your mind?
Hey, let me get your granddaddy on the phone right now.
Yeah,
she's
tripping. Right.
Yeah, you know, but I really appreciate that. Yeah. And I think we need that. We need that space where no matter what community you're in, you could go outside and paint the town red if you want to, and we still support you. You're still my child. I still love you, and I think it's. The love first comes from the parents. Yeah. And that's really what I learned from him in those moments. Now, we cut it off. He got a little crazy at the end. They don't like to let you go. They never like to let you go. So, it just, we parted ways. And I would never go back and experience that again. But it's like, you don't know you like getting high until you try getting high. So, it's like,
I don't think I want to try it.
Yeah, I think I tried it for us. I don't think you.
What you said for us?
I don't think anybody in the room has to try it.
I did it, y'all. It's no good down there. Don't make it right.
It's different, y'all. Yeah. Like, it's different. And I don't knock nobody that do what you want. Yeah. For me, it's not.
I'm uncomfortable when people think that I'm like, that I have a white parent.
They be thinking that about you?
Because I'm so light. I feel like. And I don't mind it sometimes because I could tell when they're trying to be like super nice to me or something in a weird way.
That's what they ask you. So
and I'm like, I'm just Black. My parents are light skinned. But I feel like they're seeking like connection from that. Like, oh, I know she's like one of us.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm one of us.
Yeah.
But I could never.
And I have white friends. I have a lot of white friends.
I have white family members.
And all of them are not. You know what I mean? Like, all of them. I have white business partners. Like, they are great people. They are great, to work with. They have your back like no other in business. And I think that just culturally dating, for me, I think that's just something that my taste palette is a little bit immature for.
No, I feel like it's very mature.
Yeah, that's just not something that, because I mean, somewhere down the line, somebody not liking it.
Yeah. I just see it as, what are we relating on?
Yeah.
Like, I'm very pro-black. I love everything.
And I don't want to be a
Malcolm X.
fetish for you.
Yeah.
I kind of was a fetish a little bit.
I've seen that on porn. And that kind of...
You be watching porn?
Who doesn't watch porn?
You watch gay porn or the ones with the boys and the girls?
What the freak?
What?
You said, or do I watch what?
The one with the girls and the boys. What? Okay, I have watched girl porn.
I watch the gay guys and girls and boys. I don't watch girls.
You don't watch girl porn?
No, because it's so fake.
I watch
No
girl
one
porn.
does that stuff.
So they don't.
It's acting.
It's not a
Those are straight girls having
What is
sex.
this? What's the rate of this podcast? Like, is it PG-13? It's rated R.
No.
So okay,
It's a show.
Sorry, the thriving triple.
The what?
Thruple.
Thruple?
What am I saying it right? Am I saying it right?
She's saying thruple. I've never even heard that.
Do you
word.
know what I'm talking about?
You said thruple.
When the
what the fuck is that?
Okay, I have to show you.
What is this?
I have to show you. The it's called a thruple. It's called.
Is that a position?
It's a thing. Like,
But is
it's
it a
thing.
position?
It's like when a girl. Okay, see, I just have to pull it up. I'm sorry, y'all.
You about to pull it up?
I'm sorry. I have to show you that. That's the one that really I like that. That's when I'm like, okay, Pillow Princess. Maybe not that bad, but it's like.
What is a thruple?
Okay, wait.
You teaching me something new because I've never even. I know thruple like when people are in a relationship together and they're a thruple.
No.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
maybe
not-
I'm saying it wrong. I did have a friend that was in a throuple.
Thruple.
It was two
Okay.
married. I'm sorry, girl. It was two. It was a married man.
I'm sorry, girl.
With his wife.
Wait, what? It was a married man.
With his wife. I'm trying to find. I can't.
And
find
they had
it.
like a partner, like somebody they would have sex with. Okay.
Tribing.
Tribing.
The
You talking about when girls
the
are
clitorids
like
are going together. They're
like, okay.
what is that called? Thriving? Triple? That's thriving? Triple?
I didn't know that there was a name for it. I honestly have no idea.
I'm making
It's
the
so
podcast.
interesting because
I'm
I feel
making
like
the
people who
podcast
don't
XXX.
do it, they have like these labels and terms for stuff.
So what is it called?
that
Just
knowing that we don't actually use.
No, so I'm way off.
I don't create terms for it. I don't know. I've never heard of those terms.
So
Only
okay.
time I've ever heard sexually is scissoring. That's the only word I could think of.
I know about scissoring.
I'm sure you.
I know
do,
about
'cause
scissoring.
You know about
I know
this.
about scissoring.
You know about this other stuff that I,
I know
don't know.
about scissoring, but that I do watch gay porn. I watch gay
I
porn.
love gay. But why do you watch gay porn?
It's tea. It's so tea. I don't like to see the boys having sex with the girls. To me, that's acting. I feel like they're acting.
What the freak? You don't really hear too many straight women watching gay porn.
Me and all my friends watch gay porn.
So that must just really be a thing. Because even the gay guys that I know, I'll tell them and they're like, why do girls watch gay porn? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's interesting. We're
But
not
think
used to
about
seeing
it. It's like porn. You watch porn for a fantasy, right? Right? Or
They
no?
in the background wishing they could just leave and walk out of the room.
You watch it for a fantasy.
Yeah.
So it's you're
I
fantasizing.
really do.
You're fantasizing what's going on, and I think the girls are much more passionate than watching the girls and the boys.
Yeah. Yes.
Because
Yes.
sometimes I'm watching the girls do something. No, don't do that. Do
Yeah.
this.
I'd be a little uncomfortable sometimes when I watch it.
girls
If
and the
it's
boys.
super. It's the way Prom is staring at me. I just feel like when the guys are being super, even though I feel like this is a thing, when they're being really, really, really rough with the girls, I'd be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you just treat her like she
So
a trash bag.
That I don't like that either.
She feel like
And
she making me feel uncomfortable. Why you letting that man do that to you, girl?
Yeah. Are you someone that is
But I may do it myself.
Are you passionate, or do you doom?
I'm very
doom?
passionate.
Same.
Very nurturing.
And that's why I like to watch lesbian porn.
But it don't be nurturing. It be so fake, scripted. They look so uncomfortable and
Well,
awkward.
you gotta search. You gotta go through. You can't just
She
choose
be
the
on
first-
page,
you can't choose the first
586.
page. The good stuff
She
is
said,
on
I'm
the
not
first
getting off
page.
on this next video.
You know who has the best videos? This is so crazy. I'm never gonna be invited back to this
What?
podcast.
You will be back invited to this show.
To the show.
You stressing me.
Fuck, I keep forgetting. Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Twitter's the best.
Twitter porn makes
You
me
agree,
sick.
right?
I'd be mad because I'm not on there to watch no porn. It'd be like taking me to a place where I'm like, I'm not here to watch porn right now.
I can't find it. So I can never find it. So I have to like use the emojis. So I'll do like a kitty cat with the heart eyes, and then like
what?
I don't know who. I don't have like. I don't know.
I've never searched using it. I've never even thought about that.
How do you find it?
It just be on my timeline. People be like retweeting
that's the real
and
problem.
stuff.
That's a real problem.
I'd be like, who the hell am I following that's watching this shit?
I don't ever see it.
You use emojis to search.
I have to find it because I don't follow the ladies or the men. Like I don't. I just have to find it. I have to
never
go
thought of using emojis though.
I wish
search
it
for
would
anything.
appear on my time. Well, you know, like most of those accounts, like they use emojis in their name. It's like
I didn't even think
Super
about
Circle
that.
Wet Juicy from Florida. Like, you know what I mean?
Is that somebody you seen? Is that the real name?
Yes, somebody else seen it.
Is she putting a whole thing out? People gonna go on there and be like, super.
Okay, one more risque story, and then I'll get back to it. I'll be serious. All right. So maybe 2 weeks ago, I have a friend that lives in Atlanta with me, and we were just at her house chilling. We both were going through it real bad about the boys, and we're like, let's go and get a bottle of wine, and let's go to Tokyo Valentino and get hookah coals because she likes hookah. She has a hookah at her house.
Y'all went downstairs.
So
why do I know that? I just put myself on blast. That's crazy. I've never been there before.
We didn't go downstairs because we went to the one on Marietta Street. But we talked to the guy that was working there about the Tokyo Valentino, and so before we're leaving, he's like, "Oh yeah, I make what did he call it?" He's like, "Oh, I make content. I'm a porn star, whatever." He's manly. He's in Tokyo Valentino. He works at Tokyo Valentino. You can probably go and see him this weekend. He like he's behind the counter, like regular, like helping us out with our order. I have a Tokyo Valentino rewards account, so he typed in my number, and he's like,
"You are next level." I thought I was next level. You have.
I love Tokyo Valentino down. Tokyo Valentino and Target. That's my shit.
That's crazy that you're putting them two together.
You know, they have more than just like. So he's like, he gives us his Twitter, right? So we don't go look at the Twitter until we get back to her house. I've never seen those kind of engagements in my life.
He's a gay or is like straight?
He was gay.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't even know. We had no idea. And everybody that he's doing these videos with look like Morris Chestnuts, Denzel, like, and it's not just him. It's three of them at one time. I've never seen that in my life. Three of them at one time. And he just gave us his Twitter, and we just went. It was like a rabbit hole.
You still have the page?
I'm gonna give you the page.
I'm just curious.
I'm gonna give it to you so you can see it.
I'm just curious.
And I shared the page with all my friends, and we were kind of like, whoa. Like, this is a whole new world, and he did tell us about downstairs.
This is a whole new world.
It's a whole new world. Like, that was really crazy to me. But
you haven't been downstairs yet? At the main one?
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go see it.
You should.
Because he told me that it was, he told me that it's like different holes in the wall, and then it's different rooms. He told me. So
I think I'm not, I don't remember.
It was nice in there. You went?
I don't remember.
You have to pay to go.
I plead the fifth.
You have to go. You have to pay to go in there. It's like,
I plead the fifth for, I don't want to self-incriminate, but no, I think it's nice. Okay. I only went.
Did you go alone?
Huh?
Do you go by yourself? Like,
what are you talking about? I don't even know what is happening right now. Is it the water? Did you spike our waters?
I mean, you told me this is a space where we can be ourselves, right? And be safe. Very safe.
I did.
Very safe, right?
She caught me off guard from the very beginning. No, I've been to that place with somebody. It was very interesting. It was like an unexpected day. Like night out, like we went out to get some pizza or some shit. And
at what point did y'all say, let's go downstairs in Tokyo Valentino?
Well, we were across the street from it. We were at like a pizza's place across the street, and we saw it. It was like, oh, we should go over there and like see what they have in there. And we were just wandering around the first floor. I didn't even know that there was a downstairs at the time. And then somebody was like, oh, there's a downstairs. And we were like, what's down there? And they were like, it's like an adult arcade. And we were like, okay, let's see what the fuck is down there. Go down there. I'm like, okay, this is it's
an arcade,
interesting.
Right.
It is an arcade. I think I got disturbed at one point when I saw this like older white guy looking through this hole it just creeped me out.
Like
in
his
like
eyes right there?
Yeah, it just creeped me out in like a weird way. Because I feel like there are people who just should not be in all types of spaces. And some people are just very creepy.
And he probably has a
And very
wife and
pervy.
4 kids at home.
I'm pretty sure.
And a golden retriever.
I'm pretty sure that was probably his van that was like in the parking lot because there wasn't that many people there. But
okay, so,
I'll definitely go again.
Okay, I mean, I'll check it out. I like pizza, so maybe I'll go get some
I
pizza
like
and then walk
pizza.
across the street.
No, but I do like that. I did like that one though, because I have been to the other one on Marietta Street.
So you be in there too? You got a rewards number?
Nah, I was just looking for a new updated toy.
Okay.
Because I like throw my stuff away after a certain amount of time, then I'll just buy new stuff.
We love a sanitary queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Gotta
they have really nice
throw it.
lingerie. And the bath bombs in there really get have my skin real soft. Can't get them
bath
anywhere
bombs.
else.
I didn't know they had bath bombs.
They do.
I've been wanting to get some of their like BDSM stuff.
Oh wow. So BDSM, I just heard about BDSM like maybe 3 weeks ago. I never knew what it
Really?
was. Yeah, I never knew what it was at all.
Okay.
And so I actually probably like could learn more about it. I have no idea I just know I know about dominatrix.
Okay. I mean, it's similar to that.
Okay.
It's very, very similar, honestly. Because I think BDS stands for something. I honestly don't. Bondage? I don't know what the fuck it stands for. But it's very similar to dominatrix.
You do
so it's
BDSM.
like, what?
You do BDSM.
Yo, who is this person? Why is she asking me these crazy questions? In a way.
Okay.
Because I'm like passionate, but I'm also very like, I can be aggressive in a way. Like I like being both.
Okay.
Like I just like the energy of sex. I really don't care to like put labels and stuff around it. I know like a lot of people do. I guess it helps them identify like what role they'll play during sex. But for me, I just feel like we all playing the same role.
Yeah.
Or we should, but just
Yeah.
But I feel like when women deal with men who aren't comfortable with their body, I feel like that can be a cause of what makes women uncomfortable when they're having sex and like wanting to be however they want to be during sex for fear of making this guy
That was
uncomfortable.
Me. That was me for a minute. And then I had one partner turn me out.
Turned you out? Okay. That was, you know you a mom. You hit, Show did. Turned you out. Okay.
In a good way. Like, just made me more comfortable with my body. Made me, comfortable with talking about sex. Like, before I would be like, oh my gosh, like, why they talk about sex? Like, oh my gosh, like, ladies should be in the bedroom not talking about sex.
Ladies should be in the
But now,
so cute.
it's like, I'm comfortable. It's normal. It's natural.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have this conversation with a random person walking down the street. I actually probably don't have this conversation often at all. But I think that I'm not afraid to, right? Like, it's just, with energies. And, I think that, again, like you said, like, a lot of times, at least over in the straight community over here, a lot of the men are not comfortable with their bodies or comfortable with themselves and really, like, don't value pleasuring women. And
like actually
pleasuring women is just like
taking your time.
It's just like, check.
Let her come first.
Oh, I'm done. It's like, okay, that was...
It's like, nigga, that was it.
That was bad.
That was
real
bad.
You do not have to worry about me no more. You do not have to worry about me.
I am not coming back.
I'm done. No, but I think my last partner recently, like, has me, like, really comfortable with my body and, like, knowing what I like and, like, knowing, So I recently just got into, like, toys. Like, recently within, like, the last year. Because... like, you just don't know what you don't know. You think
so interesting.
You think what you're getting is good until you get something better, and you like, whoa.
And them toys, man, I tell you, have you feeling like I don't need nobody?
Yeah,
but no, we do.
INGEP.
Yeah, I got everything I need here.
Yeah,
but I feel like, and going back, because something you had said earlier, like when it comes to what people bring to the table, basically, like being an independent woman, being self-sufficient, having the ability to raise your child effectively and like openly, and then wanting to connect with other people dating wise or romantically, and them not meeting you at that mark. It's like, I'm already doing all these things for myself.
Yeah.
I'm good by myself. So if you
Yeah.
are coming into my world in any capacity, like, you should be able to teach me something.
Teach me.
Teach me
Teach
more
me,
about.
take me, show
yeah,
me.
teach
Like,
me, take me, show me.
You know, like, I'm a lover girl.
Yeah.
So even in like the midst of all that, I'm like,
Can I have a hug?
please, like, please.
Yeah, I'm the same way, honestly.
Don't make me sad. But
Yeah.
even if you make me sad, like, I still gotta get up and go work. So
Yeah.
I don't need you to make me sad because you're not gonna pay these bills if I stop working. So
Yeah.
let's just not.
But I feel like people do forget that when you're creating community with people, or you have like friends and family, that it should be reciprocal. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm doing the work and I'm pouring into you, I should be poured back into. Like, I need to be replenished at the same time. And we're all like, we're human beings, so we thrive in connection. We thrive with like meeting people, and we're social. Like, that's how we're built to be. Like,
Yeah.
I could never go around saying like, I don't need nobody. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need nobody help.
Yeah.
It's like, you need people. We're here to
You have
connect
to.
and to learn from each other.
My favorite like Neo song, I'm a movement by myself.
Oh yeah,
But I'm a force.
that's.
when
I think
we
that's like
get
the third
together.
song you got.
I'm
on this episode.
I'm into music.
Me too.
I'm into music.
That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, she
Like,
does what I be doing.
That's tea to me.
Okay.
But like, I think just like what you said, like, come build with me.
Yeah.
Come build with me. Don't come take. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care about a Chanel. I don't care. They're nice.
She said, "Don't get me wrong."
But you know, like, I want foundation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like thinking over there. Like, all of this is great. All of this is good. But let's stack it up. Like,
Yeah.
let's make it make sense, and not even stack it up in the terms of financial. I'm talking about let's stack it up emotionally.
Yeah.
Let's stack it up spiritually. Let's stack it up mentally. Like, let's literally be equally yoked. And where you lack, I have, and where I lack, you have, and we can do this. Like, but we don't want to. Like, our generation, we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, no. I
And
need
I
a
wanna do it.
Chanel.
I wanna do the
I need a
work.
Rolex. I need
Yeah.
a G-Wagon, or you're clipped.
All that shit that's
Nothing.
gonna deteriorate.
And now I'm crying in the
Leave
car.
the earth.
Now I'm crying
Yeah.
in this $100,000 car.
Right.
Because I'm empty.
I don't even want this car no more.
Now I'm empty. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no. So
Now I'm empty. Yes.
now I'm empty.
Yes.
I'm fly as hell,
But I'm
empty as fuck.
Yeah.
And for some people, they don't mind being empty.
And that's a lot, especially out here.
Like, a lot of people
do
are
not
just
care.
walking mannequins.
Yeah. And I always say that. I'm like, people are existing and they're not thriving.
Yeah.
Or they're surviving and they're not thriving. So you're just kind of going through the motions of the day with
Yeah.
no purpose, no foundation for yourself, no sense of awareness. It's like, what? I just couldn't imagine what
Because
that
when you
feels
leave
like.
this earth, right? Like, when it's all said and done, because everything has an ending
Yeah.
date, and we don't know.
And we for sure have an end.
We for sure, we
Yeah.
over with. Like, you know, it's like, what did you do? Who did you impact? What
Yeah.
did you change? What did you leave? What did you gain? What did you, and it's like, she had a couple Chanel bags. She was
Yeah,
fly.
she was fly all the
She got this,
time.
I
Yeah.
remember in 2018, she got this real good BBL. But what else?
Yeah.
You know
what
what
did
I
you
mean?
leave?
Like,
what did you contribute?
What
to
did
the
you
world?
contribute? And for me, it's gonna be that baby. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like that's again, like, going back full circle. Like, what you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? At what point are you leaving the mark? And if the mark is healing yourself so that you can be a vessel to others,
Yeah.
then you do that to the best of your ability. Like, you go and do the work, and like, even when it's difficult. And I think just thinking about, like, this is way off topic, but one thing I think about a lot is like the measure of success, right? So like, being in business and having these big business partners that have like been in business for so long,
Yeah.
like, we talk about success a lot, but I think I kind of like, we kind of have friction a little bit because my idea of success is not money. Like,
Yeah.
my idea of success is not wealth. It's freedom, but not in the sense of like financial freedom. I don't mind working. I like to work.
Yeah.
That's not it. For me, success is the moment that I can look in the mirror and say, I'm happy. Like, I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to feel like I'm racing this clock. Like, I'm just being.
Yeah.
And that's what I chase. Like, I chase those moments that make me feel like that. So on my day-to-day, I like being outside. I like being grounded. I like being in the sun, and I like being like just feeling the wind and like hearing the birds in the morning. Like those are things that make me really happy. And in those moments, I feel successful. Like, and it's like we always feel like I gotta climb here to get to success, but success could be in this moment right now. Yeah. Like it's like just what you say, you can be and do whatever you want to be. So in those small moments, like right now, like this feels like success to me. And so I think that when we talk about leaving your mark is your perception, like what you believe that it is. And it's not measurable upon like man. Like I can't say, oh, India was successful because she opened a school.
She worked 20 years at her job.
Yeah. And she was successful and she had this nice big retirement. Like, nah. Yeah. India was successful because to her success was feeling free and happy. And when she left here, that's how she felt. So she lived a life worth, meaning. So I guess it just really depends on internally, like who you are and what you want. But you first got to figure out who you are.
I love that.
Yeah, that was deep, huh?
It was, but that's how I be thinking. Like, that's really how I view success. Like, I could wake up, I could die today, God forbid, because I want to keep going.
Your braids look so good. It'll be too soon.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But, like, I feel successful every day just because I am able to be free within myself, and I enjoy being vulnerable, and no one could ever say that I wasn't like solid to them, even in the midst of like whatever chaos and stuff. Like I still stood firm on my vulnerability and like my sense of freedom, and just wanting other people to see what that looks like, so that they can like yearn for that. Like I want you to be free, but you have to be free within yourself.
And you're doing it by creating this space where people can come and be vulnerable and like can come and like talk about shit that they just live in their brains, and like be able to like vocalize these emotions that people that are you don't even know are watching and hearing can say, okay, this is the day I'm not gonna give up, because I heard that podcast and it really gave me
the show.
Energy. Yeah. Oh shit,
you stressing
the
me
show
out.
It's the show. I keep freaking forgetting.
No, it's okay.
Okay, all right. Look, so you're creating that space because you never know who's listening to this show, and it's like, damn, today's the day I'm not gonna give up. Yeah. Because what she said on that show was she just likes to be able to create that space of vulnerability and shit. I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna cry. Yeah. I don't care if my mama said I'm a man and I can't cry. I'm about to cry today. So I just appreciate you for opening up this space, and I think that this is only gonna go to the moon because of just the amount of vulnerability that you allow your guests to have. Like that's big. Yeah. That's huge, and so I'm honored to be a guest on the show of the rebrand.
Thank you.
And I know I probably won't be back because we was XXX.
You're definitely coming back. I was sitting here thinking like, I'm gonna have her.
It's the bullshit. They like it goes from, and I'm such a
great
mom.
It went.
Like lesbian.
But I like that because people get to see well-roundedness. Right. Like we are not linear people. Like we are very multi-hyphenate, multifaceted human beings, and we're not boxed into one specific thing. And a lot of times we all do the same shit. You just don't scared to
do it. So I have a question for you. We met on social media. Am I different than what you thought I would be?
I don't know. I didn't really have like a perception. I was just like, I mean, she looks really pretty. She seems really nice. I don't really think too far because I feel like social media is so different. And I know for me, I want people to see that I'm a real fucking person who does the most random shit. Yeah. But I don't know. I couldn't tell.
I cheated because I listened to some of the other shows. But at that point, they were podcasts, right? Okay, I cheated. So I kind of knew.
So I cheated because I did.
But I think that's the thing. Like, when people meet me a lot of times in person, they're like, oh my gosh, I thought that you would just be so, like, linear. Like, just and
But I naturally don't expect for people to be that way. So like that's kind of why I don't really form too much of an opinion. I'm just like, I wonder what else they do, because there's always like it's social media, so there's stuff that people aren't going to show and post and stuff. I just be wondering like, I wonder what they do.
And Instagram only shows you the highlights. Like you'll never see me post a crying video. I cry every day though. But
I mean, posting a crying video
it's kind of cringe. I don't like when they do that.
It's a little cringe. Like, I love the openness and stuff, but, like, the idea of, like, okay, I'm going to put my phone own up.
How do you do it? And then is it like, okay, wait, my edges wasn't laid
I can't tell if they were already crying and then was just like, I just want to make a video, or if it was like, I'm gonna make a video.
Because at what point do you start recording? Because I know for me, when I'm crying, like I go through waves. Like first I'm like,
me too, yeah.
You know, or like, do you wait until you're like, okay, I'm calmed down a little bit, but then you're not crying as hard. So it's like, I don't know.
I do voice notes. Like I like record voice notes for myself. Not where I'm crying, but like where I'm just talking about like something deep or something sad, just so I can hear it back. Because I feel like sometimes people need to say it.
Yeah.
And they want to be seen with their emotion that they feel because they don't have community.
Yeah.
Because like if you have community, you're less likely to be like, I want to go on social media.
Yeah,
you'll be like, I want to talk to my sister or my friends, or like I want to, you know, create this space where we all come together and so I can be expressive.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times that is a way where people need to be seen and heard, which goes back to those childhood things. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you may want to address those feelings of being unseen.
Yeah.
That you want to record yourself
and post it there.
When you're crying and you want the world to see.
Yeah.
And just for the world to comment and be like, why the fuck
why are you doing that? You're weird. Like, no.
That's why I'd be like, I don't even know how people do that, because I don't got time, because I would be cussing everybody out.
Because actually, bitch, I'm done crying and now I'm mad.
So now what?
So what?
Like, you want to see me?
Yeah, what? Because where you at?
Like, don't do all that.
I can show you a crybaby.
Yeah,
no, but yeah. I think all of it is like just going back to what you said. People want to be seen.
Yeah.
People want to be heard. People want to be felt. And so I think that like these spaces let people do that. So kudos to you. And your amazing team. You guys are awesome.
This man went and got a drink and some snacks.
What is that?
I feel like you just kind of helped me close it.
It's a mocktail?
Yeah,
Oh, so downstairs there is a it's called Sober Social. I thought I did.
I gotta go check it out.
It's a place downstairs called Sober Social. So they make like, it's curated mocktails.
I gotta go down
so
there.
So it's not liquor. So I can make you a mocktail Long Island. Is it good though?
It's cool. It's called the Long.
It looks nice though.
Is that a real glass?
No, it's like plastic.
Oh, okay, I'm like, it's not.
It's plastic? Oh, it looks like
I'm gonna go
real glass.
down there. How do you get down there?
I'll show you when we leave. But I feel like you
we
helped
still
me wrap it
recording?
up. No, I was about to wrap it up
look,
because
I'm
I felt
sorry.
like you helped me wrap it up with how you like.
I had
ended
such
it
a
like
great
that.
time here today.
I'm glad you did.
I did. I had such a great time.
I did too. You're gonna come back. Yeah, we're gonna have her back because I really fuck with the vibe. I fuck with the vibe when I meet people for the first time, and this is our first time meeting.
Really? You really like the vibe?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's so funny.
You like my voice? It turn you on. Sexy.
And on that note, she just stressed me all the way out.
It's a show. It's a show.
It's a show.
And it's a really great show.
Thank you.
And I really like what y'all are doing.
Thank you.
I'm just a small person, but this is a great thing.
We're all big people.
We are all big
None
people.
of us are small.
I like that.
Yes. It's kind of like this girl where I work. She'd be like, "I'm just this," like her position. I'm like, "You're not just
You are that.
that. You are that, and yeah, you doing other shit. Don't limit yourself. I don't like people do that. Don't dismiss yourself." But
I need to work on that too, because I'm always like my little. I made a little salmon.
I do
like
that
no
too,
girl, that
so.
salmon.
But
was
that's
delicious.
different. I feel like that's just a way to talk to.
Yeah.
Like a form of expression.
My grandma used to speak like that. I'm gonna just go on and sit on my little couch, child, put my little dress on, give me a little piece of gum.
Then that may be why you do.
But it's not little, grandma.
That's
That's a 20
Yeah,
piece of
you
pack
did
of extra.
that. Yeah.
Like you got gum.
Yeah.
That's not little. It's not half a
I
piece.
really enjoyed this.
Me too.
I'm really gonna
I was
have
y'all
that.
favorite. Tell the truth.
I'm crying.
This is really good.
Thank
so
you.
what are your plans? Like, you're gonna relaunch it.
I'll tell you afterwards.
This could be on. Oh, sorry, we still live. This could be on TV.
Yes, that's see. I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
So, all right, community, that is it for today. We appreciate you joining us in this space that we have created. I hope that there is so much insight, so much wisdom, so much love that you were able to take from this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow the social media, follow India on social media. Everything will be posted in this video. You'll see it. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.